Hi, I'm Michael Fern, a LEGO Serious Play facilitator and trainer, and I'm going to be in Syracuse, New York on April 9th and 10th to run a LEGO Serious Play certification workshop. So in this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to cover off a few things for those who are thinking of coming along, or perhaps for those who are already booked in. And there's three things I wanted to cover. The first thing is, what is LEGO Serious Play? So I want to talk about what you actually do in a LEGO Serious Play workshop. I then want to talk about how you can use it. I know there's going to be a lot of educators in Syracuse for the workshop. So we're going to talk about education use cases and how you might want to use it with your students. And then the third thing is I want to talk about the 2-day workshop and actually what we'll cover in those 2 days. So let's talk about what is LEGO Serious Play. So LEGO Serious Play was originally used in a business context, but it's starting to be used a lot more in education. And so what it essentially is you ask a question of your students and they answer that question by building a LEGO model. And what this does is the LEGO model allows them to think a bit differently. So they have their own time, they're using the bricks to sort of help them think and help them sort of craft a model and build a model. And from that, once they've thought about it, once they've come up with their answer, they then share that in small groups and they use the model to help them tell the story of their answer. And so what we've found in a way, it's really about changing the process. And so in a student context, it's just changing the classroom process. And what it does is it allows everyone to think a bit differently and allows everyone to share their thoughts. Now, it's not the very literal way that we normally use LEGO. It's actually using metaphor and story to get at what people really think and what they really feel about a topic. So that's at its basics what LEGO Serious Play is. It's just a way to ask a question and to answer it. Now, let me give you some examples. So up on the screen, I'm going to show you a couple of photos. The first one is from some students where I was taking them through a career discussion. So they were looking at, their career goals and what they wanted to achieve. And you can see with this first model, so the person is on the left there on that sort of high podium. And then on the right-hand side is their career goal, and they had a story around what that is and why it is. But you'll notice in between, there's all these other minifigures and other things, all these other pitfalls and things stopping them. These are some of the challenges and the barriers that this person was facing to achieve some of their career goals. And this was someone who was sort of just starting out in their career or about to. You'll also see this second photo of a LEGO Serious Play model. This one's more of a business context, but this was someone's view of the team they were in. And you can see from it there's those sort of blue globes up there. That was actually strands of DNA, and that's how they represented DNA. And so they were talking about the DNA of the team. And that cow there and that sort of tiger or snow leopard, they all had very rich sort of metaphorical meaning for what they thought of their team, both from the past and also what they could be in the future. And so that's just two examples of LEGO Serious Play models that show you, we just asked a question and they shared their story of it. Now, there's many more things you can do. There's group models, there's lots of different activities that sort of fit under the LEGO Serious Play banner. But that just gives you a taste of what LEGO Serious Play is about. Now, the second thing I want to chat about is, well, how do you use this in particularly education? Now, it's used a lot in business, but more and more I'm teaching educators here in Australia and around the world to start using it. So I've taught a lot of people in universities, I've taught a lot of people in secondary schools. So what are some of the use cases? And I'll just give you a couple of classic examples. So one of them is student reflection. So what you do is you do some content, you do some activities in a normal way about the topic that you want the students to cover. And then what you do is you bring in LEGO Serious Play at the end as a student reflection tool. And so what they do is they build a model on what they learned or their insights about the thing that they were just learning about. And a great example of this was someone that I taught many years ago. She was an English literature teacher and she was teaching year 11 and year 12 here in Australia. And she would get them to go off and read Shakespeare and all these great texts and novels. And then what she'd do is she'd bring them back and she'd say, okay, using LEGO Serious Play, What did you learn? What were some of the things that stuck in your mind? And they would build a little model to, talk about the insights they got from reading that great literature. And then they'd share it in small groups. And so they got to express themselves and sort of, to say what they thought of it in a very safe and interesting way. And they got to hear a whole bunch of other people as well and what they thought of it. And that sort of learning from within to out, and then also hearing about other people, that's where true learning and true reflection and true creativity comes from. So that's one example, student reflection. Another one that I've seen used is at the start of a topic. So it's where you want to check that prior knowledge. And so you use LEGO Serious Play and you say, okay, so what's your thoughts and your feelings and your ideas around this particular topic? And they build it, they share it, and then from that you can see, okay, where are they at? What are the stuff they're excited about? Where are the gaps that are missing, both individually and also from a group perspective? So that's just two examples of ways you can use it. Another one, a more group way you can do it, is a thing called a landscape. And so we're going to cover this in the workshop. And what you do is you get them to generate lots and lots of ideas about a topic. It's almost like an ideation brainstorm. What could be an answer here, or what could be an idea here? And you generate lots of different little models. And then you lay it out on the table as a landscape, and you see these things grouping together, and you see themes and all this sort of stuff. And it's a great way to map out the entire idea space. And then you can decide, okay, let's go over here and explore this a little bit more, or let's go over this part and explore this. And so there's just so many different ways that you can integrate your LEGO Serious Play into education. And that's one of the big things that we talk about in our workshop. Okay, so that's a little bit about some of the use cases. Let's talk about what we're actually going to do in these 2 days. So day one, and I'm going to flash the agenda up here. Day one is all about delivery. So it's all about these core techniques that you've got, say an individual model, some of these group models, and we go through each of those, how you can deliver them. So you'll experience them, then you'll show how you can deliver them and how you can integrate them into your classes. So that's day one. We also go through how to warm people up. That's a super important part of it because LEGO Serious Play is a bit different to your normal method. And we also talk about how you wrap it up, like how you get really good insights and actions and learnings from your sessions. So that's day one. On day two, what we do is we shift more to the design side of things. So it's about, again, how do you integrate this? How do you adapt it? How do you ask the right questions? Because in the end, LEGO Serious Play is all about the questions that you ask. And so we go through that in a bit of detail and a whole bunch of other little topics from, hey, what Lego should I use? The science that underpins all of this stuff, and a whole range of other topics as well. So one thing I found, I've done many of these workshops, over 10 years of workshops now and thousands of people, like they are a fun 2 days. They are an intense learning 2 days, and people come out motivated and energized about how they can integrate this into their work. And they're actually surprised about some of the ways that they can. And we go through a fair bit of that on day two. So hopefully you've got a bit of understanding of a bit about me, a bit about what is LEGO Serious Play, a bit about some of the use cases, and also what we're going to cover in these 2 days. Now, I just want to say thank you to Amy for inviting me all the way over to Syracuse from Australia. It's a long trip, but I'm really looking forward to getting there and helping to sort of share my love and my passion and my knowledge about LEGO Serious Play. Now, if you are interested in joining us for those 2 days, and again, it was on April 9th and 10th in Syracuse, probably best to reach out to either Amy or you can reach out to myself. The best way to get hold of me is michael@lspmethod.com. So that's my email, michael@lspmethod.com. Or like I said, you can just contact Amy and she can sort some things out. But if you are already booked in, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Syracuse. I better get inside before it rains, but it's only a few weeks till the session, so really looking forward to meeting you all. Bye.